Mental strength is not something you are born with. It is something you develop through awareness, discipline, and life experience. Every person faces pressure, uncertainty, fear, and failure at different stages of life. What separates mentally strong people from others is not the absence of problems, but the way they respond to them. Mental strength allows you to stay calm in chaos, focused under pressure, and confident even when things do not go as planned. It is the inner ability to stand steady when life tries to shake you. In today's world, mental strength is more important than ever. We are constantly exposed to stress, comparison, negativity, and unrealistic expectations. Social media, work pressure, and personal responsibilities can easily overwhelm the mind if it is not trained properly. Without mental strength, even small problems feel heavy, and emotions begin to control decisions. But when your mind is strong, you gain the power to think clearly, manage your emotions, and act with intention instead of reacting impulsively. Many people believe mental strength means being emotionless or never feeling pain. That is not true. Mentally strong people feel emotions deeply, but they do not allow those emotions to control their actions. They understand their inner world and learn how to navigate it wisely. Mental strength is about balance. It is about knowing when to push forward and when to pause, when to speak and when to remain silent, and when to let go instead of holding on. The good news is that mental strength can be learned and strengthened over time. Just like muscles grow through consistent training, the mind becomes stronger through daily practice and conscious choices. Small habits, repeated thoughts, and simple shifts in perspective slowly build a resilient mindset. You do not need a perfect life or special abilities to become mentally strong. You only need willingness, patience, and the desire to grow. In this video, you will learn 8 powerful and practical tips that can help you build mental strength step by step. These tips are not based on theory alone, they are grounded in real-life principles that mentally strong people use every day. Each tip will help you understand yourself better, manage challenges more effectively, and develop a stronger connection with your inner self. As you listen, do not rush. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Notice which areas feel weak and which areas need more attention. Mental strength begins with awareness. The more honest you are with yourself, the more powerful this journey becomes. This is not about becoming perfect or fearless. It is about becoming resilient, self-aware, and emotionally stable. By the end of this video, you will realize that mental strength is not something outside of you. It has always been within you, waiting to be developed. These tips are simply a guide to help you unlock that strength and use it to create a more confident, focused, and peaceful life. This is your starting point. Your journey toward mental strength begins now. Control your thoughts. Mental strength begins with control over your thoughts. Your mind is constantly producing ideas, judgments, memories, and assumptions. And if you are not aware of them, they begin to control you. Many people suffer not because of their situation, but because of the way they think about it. A single negative thought, when repeated, can slowly turn into a belief that limits confidence, motivation, and inner peace. Mentally strong people understand that thoughts are powerful, but they also understand that thoughts are not always true. The first step in controlling your thoughts is awareness. You must learn to observe what is happening inside your mind. Pay attention to the way you talk to yourself, especially during difficult moments. Do you criticize yourself harshly? Do you assume the worst outcome? Do you replay past mistakes again and again? These patterns weaken the mind over time. When you become aware of them, you gain the ability to interrupt them. Awareness creates a pause between a thought and your reaction, and in that pause lies your power. Mentally strong people do not try to stop thoughts completely. That is impossible. Instead, they choose which thoughts deserve attention and which ones should be ignored. When a negative or fearful thought arises, They question it. They ask themselves whether the thought is based on facts or assumptions. Often you will realize that your mind exaggerates danger and underestimates your ability to cope. By challenging negative thoughts, you prevent them from becoming beliefs. Another important aspect of thought control is replacing unhelpful thoughts with constructive ones. This does not mean lying to yourself or forcing positivity. It means choosing thoughts that are realistic, balanced, and supportive. For example, instead of thinking, "I always fail," you can shift to, "I may struggle, but I can learn and improve." This small change in thinking has a powerful impact on your emotional state and behavior. Your thoughts also shape your focus. When you focus on problems, fear grows. When you focus on solutions, confidence grows. Mentally strong people train their minds to focus on what they can do, not on what they cannot control. This shift in focus helps them stay calm and productive, even in stressful situations. Controlling your thoughts is a daily practice. It requires patience and consistency. Some days will be easier than others, but every time you choose awareness over reaction, your mental strength increases. Over time, your mind becomes clearer, calmer, and more disciplined. You stop being a victim of your thoughts and start becoming the one who guides them. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the one who observes them. When you learn to control your thoughts, take the first and most important step toward becoming mentally strong. Accept what you cannot change. One of the strongest signs of mental strength is the ability to accept what you cannot change. Many people suffer not because life is difficult, but because they constantly resist reality. They replay the past, fight against circumstances, or try to control people and outcomes that are beyond their power. This inner resistance creates stress, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. Mentally strong people understand that peace begins when you stop fighting reality and start working with it. Acceptance does not mean weakness, surrender, or giving up on your goals. It means seeing things as they are, not as you wish they were. When you accept reality clearly, you are able to choose wiser responses. Resistance clouds judgment, while acceptance brings clarity. The moment you stop arguing with what has already happened, your mind becomes calmer and more focused. This clarity allows you to direct your energy toward actions that actually matter. The past is one of the biggest sources of mental suffering. Many people replay past mistakes, regrets, or painful experiences again and again, hoping for a different outcome. But the past cannot be changed. Mentally strong individuals learn from the past without living in it. They take lessons, not emotional baggage. By accepting what has already happened, you free yourself from guilt, shame, and unnecessary self-blame. This freedom is essential for mental resilience. Another area where acceptance is crucial is dealing with other people. You cannot control how others think, behave, or feel. Trying to change people against their will leads to disappointment and anger. Mentally strong people understand this and focus instead on setting healthy boundaries. They accept people as they are while choosing how close they allow them to be. This creates emotional stability and protects inner peace. Acceptance also helps you face life's uncertainties. Not everything will go according to plan. Loss, change, rejection, and failure are part of the human experience. When you accept uncertainty instead of fearing it, you reduce anxiety and increase adaptability. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" That shift in mindset transforms hardship into growth. Letting go of control is not easy. The mind often believes that worrying or resisting will somehow change outcomes. But in reality, it only drains energy. Acceptance teaches you to release what is beyond your control and focus on what is within it. You can control your attitude, your effort, and your response. When you place your energy there, life becomes lighter and more manageable. Mental strength grows when you accept life as it is while still working toward improvement. You stop wasting energy on resistance and begin using it for growth. Acceptance gives you emotional balance, inner peace, and clarity. It allows you to move forward without carrying the weight of what you cannot change. When you truly accept reality, you gain freedom, and with that freedom comes strength. Build emotional discipline. Emotional discipline is a core pillar of mental strength. It is the ability to experience emotions fully without allowing them to control your actions. Many people believe that mentally strong individuals do not feel emotions like anger, fear, sadness, or frustration. In reality, they feel these emotions just as deeply as anyone else. The difference is that they know how to manage their emotional responses instead of reacting impulsively. Emotional discipline allows you to remain calm, clear, and intentional even during emotionally charged situations. The first step in building emotional discipline is awareness. You must learn to recognize what you are feeling in the moment. Instead of saying, "I am angry," mentally strong people say, "I feel anger right now." This small shift creates distance between you and the emotion. When you observe your emotions rather than becoming them, you regain control. Awareness prevents emotions from hijacking your behavior and gives you the space to choose a thoughtful response. Emotional discipline also requires patience. Emotions rise and fall naturally, like waves. If you react at the peak of an emotion, your actions are often driven by impulse rather than wisdom. Mentally strong people learn to pause. They breathe, reflect, and allow the intensity to pass before responding. This pause protects relationships, prevents regret, and strengthens self-respect. Over time, this habit becomes a powerful source of inner stability. Another important part of emotional discipline is understanding emotional triggers. Triggers are situations, words, or behaviors that create strong emotional reactions. Instead of blaming others for these reactions, mentally strong people take responsibility for understanding their triggers. They ask themselves why a certain situation affects them so deeply. This self-awareness helps them heal unresolved emotions and respond more calmly in the future. Emotional discipline does not mean suppressing emotions. Suppression leads to stress, resentment, and emotional burnout. Mentally strong individuals allow themselves to feel emotions fully but express them in healthy ways. They communicate clearly, set boundaries when needed, and release emotions through reflection, movement, or creative expression. This balanced approach strengthens emotional health and prevents inner conflict. Building emotional discipline also improves decision making. When emotions are uncontrolled, decisions are often reactive and short-sighted. Emotional discipline allows you to act based on values rather than temporary feelings. You are able to stay aligned with your long-term goals even when emotions try to pull you in another direction. This consistency builds trust in yourself and strengthens confidence. Emotional discipline is a skill that develops with practice. Every time you choose to pause instead of react, you strengthen your mental muscles. Over time, emotional stability becomes your natural state. You stop being controlled by moods and start responding to life with clarity and balance. This inner control is true mental strength. Get comfortable with discomfort. One of the most important traits of mentally strong people is their ability to tolerate discomfort. Growth rarely feels comfortable. Change often brings uncertainty, fear, and resistance, but avoiding discomfort keeps you stuck. Many people choose short-term comfort over long-term growth, and as a result, their mental strength remains weak. Mentally strong individuals understand that discomfort is not a signal to stop, it is often a sign that growth is taking place. Discomfort appears in many forms. It may come from discipline, such as waking up early or staying consistent with healthy habits. It may come from seeing difficult conversations, taking responsibility for mistakes, or stepping into unfamiliar situations. Instead of running from these experiences, Mentally strong people lean into them. They understand that each uncomfortable moment builds resilience and confidence. The mind naturally seeks comfort and safety. It prefers what is familiar, even if it is limiting. This is why stepping outside your comfort zone feels challenging. But every time you choose discomfort for the sake of growth, you expand your mental capacity. What once felt overwhelming slowly becomes manageable. Over time, your tolerance for difficulty increases, and challenges no longer feel as threatening as they once did. Getting comfortable with discomfort also helps you overcome fear. Fear often exists to protect you, but when left unchecked, it becomes a barrier. Mentally strong people acknowledge fear without obeying it. They take action despite feeling afraid. Each time you act in the presence of fear, your confidence grows. You begin to trust yourself more, knowing that you can handle difficult situations even when they are uncomfortable. Discomfort also teaches discipline. Motivation is temporary and unreliable, but discipline is built through repeated action, especially when you do not feel like it. Mentally strong people show up, even when it is hard, even when energy is low, and even when results are not immediate. This commitment strengthens self-respect and builds a strong internal foundation. And now, a powerful benefit of embracing discomfort is emotional resilience. When you stop avoiding difficult feelings, you learn that emotions are temporary. Discomfort does not last forever. By allowing yourself to experience it without escaping, you develop emotional endurance. This endurance makes future challenges easier to handle and reduces fear of failure or rejection. Mental strength grows every time you choose growth over comfort. You do not need to make extreme changes all at once. Start small, do one uncomfortable thing each day that moves you closer to your goals. Over time, these small acts build a strong, resilient mind. Discomfort is not your enemy, it is your teacher. When you stop running from it and start learning from it, your mental strength increases. Comfort keeps life easy, but discomfort makes you strong. Develop self-trust. Self-trust is a powerful foundation of mental strength. It is the belief that you can handle challenges, make decisions, and adapt to whatever life presents. Without self-trust, doubt controls your thoughts, fear guides your actions, and external approval becomes more important than your inner voice. Mentally strong people trust themselves not because they are perfect, but because they know they can learn, adjust, and grow from any situation. Developing self-trust begins with self-awareness. You must understand your values, strengths, and limitations. When you know who you are and what matters to you, decision-making becomes clearer. Instead of constantly questioning yourself or seeking validation from others, you learn to listen to your inner guidance. This clarity reduces anxiety and builds confidence over time. Another important step in building self-trust is keeping small promises to yourself. Many people break trust with themselves without realizing it. They say they will start tomorrow, but they do not. They set goals but fail to follow through. Each broken promise weakens self-trust. Mentally strong individuals build trust by doing what they say they will do, even in small ways. Over time, consistency strengthens belief in oneself. Self-trust also grows through experience, especially difficult experiences. Every challenge you face and survive becomes evidence of your strength. Instead of seeing past struggles as failures, mentally strong people view them as proof of resilience. They remind themselves, I have handled hard things before and I can handle this too. This mindset creates emotional stability and courage during uncertainty. Making mistakes is another important part of self-trust. Fear of being wrong often leads to indecision. Mentally strong people accept that mistakes are part of learning. They trust themselves to make the best decision they can with the information available and adjust if needed. This flexibility removes the pressure of perfection and allows growth to continue without fear. Self-trust also means standing by your values. even when it is uncomfortable. Mentally strong individuals do not abandon their principles for approval or convenience. They respect themselves enough to say no, set boundaries, and walk away from situations that do not align with their values. This self-respect strengthens inner confidence and emotional balance. Developing self-trust takes time, patience, and consistency. It is built through honest self-reflection, disciplined action, and learning from experience. The more you trust yourself, the less you fear the future. You become calmer, more decisive, and more resilient. When you trust yourself, you no longer feel lost or dependent on others for direction. Self-trust gives you the strength to move forward with confidence, no matter what life brings. Focus on progress, not perfection. One of the biggest obstacles to mental strength is the pursuit of perfection. Many people believe they must do everything perfectly to be worthy, successful, or respected. This belief creates constant pressure, fear of failure, and self-criticism. Mentally strong people understand that perfection is not only unrealistic but also harmful. Instead of chasing perfection, they focus on progress. They know that steady improvement is far more powerful than flawless performance. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination. When you feel that something must be done perfectly, you delay starting because you fear making mistakes. This creates a cycle of inaction and self-doubt. Mentally strong individuals break this cycle by allowing themselves to start imperfectly. They understand that clarity comes from action, not from waiting until everything feels ready. By taking small steps, they gain momentum and confidence. Focusing on progress helps you develop resilience. Mistakes and setbacks are inevitable in any meaningful journey. Instead of seeing them as failures, mentally strong people view them as feedback. Each mistake provides information that helps you improve. This mindset reduces fear and encourages experimentation. When you stop judging yourself harshly, you create a healthier relationship with growth and learning. Progress-based thinking also supports emotional balance. When perfection is the goal, satisfaction is always delayed. Nothing feels good enough. But when progress is the focus, you begin to appreciate effort, consistency, and small wins. This creates motivation and self-respect. You learn to celebrate improvement rather than criticize yourself for what is missing. Another important aspect of focusing on progress is patience. Meaningful growth takes time. Mentally strong people do not expect immediate results. They understand that long-term success is built through consistent effort over time. This patience reduces frustration and helps them stay committed even when progress feels slow. Progress also allows flexibility. When perfection is the goal, any change feels like failure. But when progress is the focus, adaptation becomes natural. Mentally strong individuals adjust their approach when needed without losing confidence. They remain open to learning and improvement rather than being attached to rigid standards. Focusing on progress strengthens self-trust and motivation. Each step forward becomes evidence of growth. Over time, these small steps create significant transformation. You begin to see yourself as capable, resilient, and disciplined. This belief strengthens mental toughness and emotional stability. Mental strength is not built by being perfect. It is built by showing up consistently, learning from mistakes, and continuing forward despite setbacks. When you shift your focus from perfection to progress, you free yourself from unnecessary pressure and unlock sustainable growth. Progress C breeds confidence, and confidence builds mental strength. Choose your response every day. One of the most important truths about mental strength is that you cannot control everything that happens in your life, but you can always control how you respond. Life will present challenges, disappointments, and unexpected situations no matter who you are. Mentally strong people understand that their power lies not in controlling events, but in choosing their response to those events. This ability to choose again and again is what shapes character, resilience, and inner peace. Every day you are faced with choices. You can react emotionally or you can respond thoughtfully. Reaction is automatic and driven by impulse, fear, or habit. Response is intentional and guided by awareness and values. Mentally strong individuals pause before reacting. They create space between what happens and how they respond. In that space, they find clarity and control. This pause is a skill that grows stronger with practice. Choosing your response requires responsibility. It means accepting that your emotions, actions, and attitudes are your responsibility, even when circumstances are unfair or difficult. This does not mean blaming yourself for everything that happens. It means recognizing that you always have a choice in how you show up. This mindset is empowering because it puts control back into your hands. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as an active participant in your life. Mentally strong people choose responses that align with their long-term values rather than short-term emotions. When anger arises, they choose calm. When fear appears, they choose courage. When frustration builds, they choose patience. These choices are not always easy, but they are intentional. Each time you choose a thoughtful response, you strengthen your mental discipline and emotional stability. Daily life provides countless opportunities to practice this skill. A stressful conversation, a delay, a mistake, or criticism can all become moments of growth. Instead of reacting with defensiveness or negativity, mentally strong individuals use these moments to practice self-control and awareness. Over time, this practice becomes natural. Emotional reactions lose their power, and clarity becomes the default state. Choosing your response also shapes your relationships. Calm, respectful responses build trust and understanding. Reactive behavior creates conflict and regret. By responding with awareness, you protect your peace and strengthen your connections with others. This skill allows you to communicate more effectively and maintain emotional balance in challenging interactions. Mental strength is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built through daily choices repeated consistently. Every time you choose patience over anger, responsibility over blame, and awareness over impulse, you reinforce a strong mindset. Over time, these choices shape who you become. Remember, life will test you. You cannot avoid challenges, but you can decide how you face them. Each day, you have the power to choose your response. That choice is your strength. When you learn to respond with intention, clarity, and calm, you become mentally strong from the inside out.